Welcome back to the channel. I wish you all a lucky and peaceful day ahead. Life can be an unforgiving storm, but even in the darkest night, a mother's love remains a flickering flame that refuses to die. Today, we begin a brand new journey titled The Mosaic After the Storm. Still the same young mother, still her innocent child. But this time, they face a trial more grueling than ever. When betrayal leaves her with nothing, will her dignity and the kindness of strangers be enough to save them? Let us step into the first chapter. The forest rain poured down relentlessly, threatening to drown the small house in a sea of darkness. Inside, Tuan, the man who was once Huyen's pillar of strength, was dead drunk, lost in his addiction to alcohol.
There were no more tender words. Instead, he glared at Huyen with bloodshot eyes, roaring bitter insults and physically assaulting her. Using his drunken stupor as a heartless excuse, he kicked her and their infant daughter out of the house in the middle of the freezing night. Carrying her baby, who was only a few months old, Huyen stepped out of the door trembling. She tried knocking on the doors of many neighbors, begging for a place for her small child to stay out of the cold. However, her pleas were met only with headshakes of refusal. Some claimed their houses were too small, while others simply didn't want the trouble. Solitude engulfed the young mother amidst the white curtain of rain. With no other choice, Huyen had to carry her child deep into a remote bamboo forest on the edge of the village. She found a spot sheltered from the wind and spread an old, torn mat onto the damp ground. The space was freezing, and the wind whistling through the bamboo leaves sounded like a mournful wail. She held her baby tightly, using her own body heat to protect the tiny life as they spent the night in the woods. In the vast darkness, Huyen looked at her child, who had finally fallen asleep from exhaustion, and her heart ached with pity. She promised herself that no matter what tomorrow brought, she would survive to raise her daughter. She began gathering dry branches to light a small fire, trying to chase away the biting cold. The flickering firelight illuminated the determined face of a young mother, a woman who had been stripped of everything but her will to live. Early the next morning, mist still hung over the old bamboo thickets, and the chill of the forest night had not yet faded. Huyen woke up exhausted, her eyes dark from staying awake all night to watch over her sleeping baby. Just as she was gathering her old mat, a figure appeared. It was an elderly woman out picking early bamboo shoots. She was surprised and heartbroken to see a young mother and a tiny baby huddled together in the forest. "Why are you sleeping here?" the old woman asked, her voice trembling with pity. Choking back tears, Huyen recounted the story of her drunk, abusive husband and how she was refused shelter by the villagers. The 65-year-old woman, who lived alone because her children worked far away, did not hesitate to invite Huyen and her baby to her home. She said, "Come to my house. I will cook rice for you to eat. It's too cold here. I feel so sorry for the little one." At the old lady's house, Huyen felt warmth for the first time after the storm. The woman cooked a simple meal filled with human kindness. Huyen ate while tears of emotion fell. However, even though the elderly woman wanted to provide long-term help, Huyen maintained her self-respect. She did not want to become a burden to someone who was also facing difficulties. After eating and regaining her strength, Huyen said goodbye to the woman to begin her journey of earning a living on her own. She walked down the long road, her eyes searching for discarded bottles and tin cans by the wayside. With an old sack she found, Huyen began collecting every piece of scrap to sell for money to buy milk for her child. She told herself, "Every bottle is a drop of milk for my baby." The journey of a true single mom began with those patient footsteps. While Huyen was trudging along the roadside, picking up every discarded can, Officer Van was restless at his duty station nearby. His mother, with a heart full of compassion, constantly urged him to find Huyen and her baby at any cost. She worried deeply about where they had slept during the recent stormy night and how Huyen could possibly earn money to raise such a small child.
Officer Van mobilized his colleagues to search throughout the residential areas. He traveled along the streets, asking every local if they had seen a woman wandering with an infant. "If you find them, and their life is unstable, bring them back to live with us," his mother's instructions echoed in his mind. However, from morning until now, there had been absolutely no information. At the same time, Huyen had managed to gather a full sack of scrap. Her legs were exhausted and sweat soaked her back, but looking at the collected bottles, she quietly calculated how many cans of milk they could be exchanged for. She stopped in front of a strange house, hesitating before deciding to go in and ask for water for both her and her baby.
She had no idea that just a few streets away, kind people were doing their best to bring her to safety. The distance between rescue and loneliness was now as thin as a hair. While Officer Van was mobilizing his colleagues to search throughout the residential areas to help Huyen and her baby, Huyen was still diligently working on the streets to make a living. She had gathered a full sack of bottles and tin cans to sell as scrap, hoping to earn enough money to buy milk for her child. As the sun grew harsher, the infant on her back cried out from thirst and exhaustion. Huyen stopped at the gate of a large house, hesitating before stepping in to ask for drinking water. By a twist of fate, that was the house of one of Officer Van's colleagues.
As soon as the colleague saw the thin woman carrying an infant and a sack of scrap on her shoulders, they immediately recognized her as the person Van had been searching for all morning. The information was instantly reported back to the unit. Just minutes later, the sound of Officer Van's vehicle echoed at the entrance of the alley. Seeing Huyen sitting on the roadside, her hands trembling as she held the bottle of water she had just received, Van could not hide his emotions. He remembered his mother's words, "Poor mother and child. I wonder where they eat and sleep or what they are doing." He approached her, his voice choked up. "Huyen, we finally found you two. Let's go. My mother is waiting for you at home." Huyen was stunned, and the sack of scrap fell from her hands. She never expected that in her loneliest moment, there were people who had not abandoned her. The protection of Officer Van's family was like a saving hand, rescuing her and her child from a life of wandering and sleeping out in the elements. Officer Van brought Hien and her baby home late in the afternoon. His mother was already waiting at the gate, her eyes filled with pity as she saw the haggard appearance of the young mother and the baby who had fallen asleep from exhaustion. She rushed to take the child and urged Hien to go inside to wash up and rest. In the large but warm house, for the first time after a series of terrifying days, Hien felt true safety. In the following days, Van's family cared for the mother and child like their own flesh and blood. However, within Huyen's heart, the will for independence was always burning. She did not want to be a recipient of charity forever. Every day she helped Van's mother with housework and learned how to plant vegetables and tend the garden. She understood that this help was a springboard for her to stand on her own feet, not a place to lean on for the rest of her life. As for Tuan, when he heard that his wife and child were being helped by an officer's family, he initially came with the intention of causing trouble. But when faced with Van's determination and Huyen's cold, decisive attitude, he realized he had truly lost everything. Tuan slunk back to his alcohol and loneliness,
while Huen began to dream of a small home of her own, one without beatings and the heavy smell of alcohol.
The story closes with the image of Huyen standing on the porch, watching Officer Van playing with her daughter. The morning sunlight illuminates her face, a light smile on her lips. She was no longer the single mother collecting scrap with eyes full of despair. Will she accept Van's feelings to build a new family? Or will she choose a path of complete independence? The answer lies in her confident footsteps toward the future.
Thank you so much for watching today's video until the very end. Your presence is the greatest gift to me. Every view and every moment you spend here is a huge motivation for me to keep improving and releasing higher quality content in the future. Creating content isn't easy, but your silent support gives me the strength to stay creative every day. If you found today's video interesting and relaxing, please don't hesitate to give me a like. Your small actions are the most precious recognition of our team's hard work. And especially if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe